All right, good evening, nerds around the world. Welcome to episode 156 of the Nerds United One podcast. I'm Paul English, your host, and we have got, and yes, I'm back. I didn't think I'd be back so soon, but time off was just what I needed to come up with a whole bunch of new topics, and I'm excited to share these with you. I love these topics, and I hope you'll love them too. For this episode, we have fought, we have grinded, we have leveled up. Now we've got our best weapons, our best armor, our best companions. Now we are ready to confront the final level. We are going to be counting down our top 5 favorite final levels in video games. And to help me with that, I have a tremendous panel that you know and love. We got Colton, we got Mike, we got Jack. What's going on, boys?
Hey everyone, I've got my Street Fighter shirt on, so I'm raring to go.
Hi.
All right, so let's jump right in. It is time. Colton, I'm coming to you first. Give me number 5 on your list.
All right, number 5 on my list, we're going to go back to the early-ish days of the PlayStation 3 with Assassin's Creed 1. Now, I know that the later Assassin's Creed games would have better final stages, but what I liked about this one is, well, first off, the lead-up to it. First off, we find out that, all the assassins that could possibly rescue Desmond have just been killed. And Desmond is at, the edge of despair, only to find out that Lucy herself is an assassin and that she's here to help him. And of course, later games will reveal that was a load of shit, but that's beside the point. Anyway, I love that build-up. And then when the final memory begins, when we enter the assassin compound and see how it's been turned into this, kind of a hive mind ghost combination of a hive mind and a ghost town, it's a very unsettling, and it really makes me want to get to the bottom of what's going on, since we just found out that our mentor Al-Mualim is one of the Templar villains. And once the final battle begins, as disappointingly easy as it is, I really loved it for the story, and the dialogue and back and forth between Altair and Al-Mualim as the fight progresses, culminating with Altair finishing him off, but not being able to destroy the Apple of Eden despite as much as he would love to. And then we cut back to the present, and we find out that the story is only just beginning, as Desmond sees that there is a message scrawled in blood and next to his eagle vision. He's like, what the hell happened here? And then, boom, cut to credits.
Indeed. That was that was a very good one. Jack, you're up next. Give me number 5 on your list.
My number 5 is Uncharted 4. It has an okay boss fight, but then we go to the epilogue, where you play as Nathan and Elena's daughter, and it's very reminiscent because you start off by playing Crash Bandicoot, and then you go around and you look at different items from Nathan Drake's past. And it was just a nice send-off for the franchise.
Okay. I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, so I apologize. Given the nature of this topic, folks, there's going to be a lot of spoilers in this episode, so late notice, but spoiler warning. The game that we're about to mention, if you have not watched, seen, played any of them, and you want to, stop watching. Go play them, then come back. Okay. Mike, what's number 5 on your list?
I'm going to trying to keep mine as spoiler-free as possible. But number 5 on my list, these are like no particular order, just the order that I came up with them. Darksiders. The very first game, so far they come out with 3 games in this series. It's severely underrated. It's a fantastic series. But in the first game, you play as War, who's been accused of starting the apocalypse and pretty much wiping out humanity. But he's basically just a fall guy. And I mean, the final battle, you're facing off against not necessarily the one that started this whole thing, but at least the main villain of the first game, because it's an overarching plot that spans all 3 games so far. But once you defeat the villain, just the kind of the wrap of War's story is it made me more excited for the next movies, next games, which sadly took a while to come out with, and we're still pretty sure there's still one game that might or might not be made. Who knows? But it's definitely a fitting finale for a very long game.
All right, no, very good. All right, number 5 on my list is it's Ash versus the Elite Four and Gary in Pokemon Yellow. If you're a fan of the anime like I am, then this game kind of brought it to life a little bit more than Red and Blue. Is that it mirrors the anime a little bit more, and so you're gonna get the excitement of you have Pikachu as your starter, you get all 3 of the original starters, and you fought, you leveled up, and I just remember how difficult it was for me just trying to raise this balanced team, tailor them for this one moment, and now here you are. You're up against the best trainers in the land. You fight them off, and of course I have to face Gary one last time to be the champion. So it was such a fun battle, and then of course it helps out by just the amazing music that just captures the epicness nature of these final battles. So yeah, it sticks. Those endings, they stick with you, and so yeah, number 5 for me is the ending of Pokemon Yellow. All right, going to number 4. Bolton, what's up? What do you got for number 4?
Before I say it, who is this Gary you speak of, Paul? All I know I named my rival Asshat. Okay, sorry.
You know who I'm talking about. If it's near the anime, of course I'm going to name him after the anime.
I know. Just a little juvenile name, insult the rival humor there. But anyway, number 4 on my list is Dead Space 2. All right, so what I love about this final level is a lot, again, mostly same reasons why I put Assassin's Creed on my list, and that was anticipation. So like we've already slaughtered, mild spoiler alert, but we already had to slaughter a bunch of soldiers from government sector in order to get to where the marker is being held, and that was a pretty gruesome sight actually. We didn't see it, but we heard the slaughter, and it was, well, I can see why this game is reminds you just of how scary this game can get. But then once you get to the main area, then you have to activate the machine, which, again, if you're queasy, stop listening to this, but the scene where you have to stick that needle right into Isaac's eye in order to activate the marker portions of his brain, that was very gruesome, to say the least. And then once we think the game is going to be pretty straightforward, suddenly another fucking Ubermorph shows up, and we have to fight that non-stop regenerating boss as we try to make it to the final area. And when we do, we get some pretty good surprises. I would expect some things that we wouldn't expect to happen in this game, which I won't get into because of spoilers. The only reason it's not higher on my list is because the boss fight is pretty easy, actually, especially compared to the Hive Mind battle in Dead Space 1. But again, I like the fight itself because of how it fits into the story, especially how everything ends. So Dead Space 2 is my next final area, or number 4 on my list.
All right, Jack, what's number 4 on your list?
My number 4 is Kingdom Hearts 3. And I am going to try to be as spoiler-free as possible. But finally, you get to fight Xehanort for the final fucking time. After 3 fucking games. You finally get to kill this guy. And it's a hard boss fight, but, you know, it's worth it. There's different elements. You fight kind of like in an upside-down area, and then you fight underwater. And he has different forms and stuff, so it's pretty cool. And then you get to the ending, and it's very emotional. And Square Enix, I will fucking kill all of you if you do not make Kingdom Hearts 4. And I have to wait another 13 years because I can't handle that.
All right, Mike, what's number 4 on your list?
Are you finished?
Yeah, Mike, Jack is done.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I had to take off my
I had
headphones.
to mute you for a second, so I didn't want to hear what you had to didn't want to hear any possible spoilers.
Yeah, I had to take off my headphones for the same reason.
All right, Mike, you're up next. What's number 4 on your list?
Number 4 on my list is Tomb Raider 2013. The first game of the rebooted trilogy that kind of reintroduces to a younger but untested Lara Croft. And you're playing through the entire game, and you're kind of all through all the experiences she goes through on this kind of this island filled with a pretty brutal cult. Brutal is the correct word. This is a very brutal game, but
Oh yeah.
the final battle, your friends, they're like, okay, one of the remaining survivors just got kidnapped, and the other's like, all right, we got to get home. And Laura's like, no, if I don't come back, leave without me, but I'm getting her back, and I'm ending this right now. And she just goes on, and just like this, just the shit hits the fan, and there's just spiritual energy just wrapping all around this huge tower that is falling apart, and the psycho head priest is trying to resurrect this ancient night mystical deity queen, and Lara's got to find a way to stop him and save her friend. And just the last moment where she finally gets her double pistols for the first time in the game, and she starts using them. It's an iconic moment of her with her double pistols, but finally, after everything you've gone through the entire game, having her come out and just start firing at the psycho cult leader, it felt good. It felt real good.
All right. Number 4 on my list is the final of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And, after all the bullshit that you've had to go through, fighting off the Borgia family, trying to bring the Templars down, reclaim Rome for the assassins and for the commie, this final battle, you have all of your assassins, all the ones that you've recruited, all your ally coming together to bring down Cesare, and kicking the shit out of this guy in the city was fun. And then these scenes of Ezio chasing him around in Italy, and then the final confrontation at the end was just so much fun. It was challenging. It was a load of fun. And just the way it ended, you get this arrogant little pissant down the ground saying, "No man can kill me." Like, okay, I'll leave you in the hands of fate. And Ezio just tosses him off off of a huge cliff. I'm like, yes. Yeah, okay, fine. Let fate decide. You're fate. So that a load of fun. So yeah, Brotherhood number 4. All right, number 3, Colton, go.
Okay, we finally got a game where this one, it goes back even further. My only game from the 16-bit era, and that is the final level of Sonic and Knuckles, or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, if you will. It's a zone that has been several years in the making, and that is the Death Egg Zone. It was supposed to be an actual full-fledged zone in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but they ran out of time and made it a boss-only zone. And then they ran out of time before they could make it a zone in Sonic 3. But then when Sonic and Knuckles came out, we finally got to see what the Death Egg was like, and it was awesome. It's huge. It's very challenging. It doesn't have as many enemies in it as you would expect, but they make up for it with hazards and everything. And you gotta use all the reflexes to get Sonic through this level. And if you're playing a connected game with Sonic 3, then it means you're about to go through almost, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so levels just to get through this point. And it just feels like a reward for all the. It feels like a reward for on Sonic Team's part for finally being able to make this world a reality, especially if you've collected all the Chaos Emeralds, which then unlocks the conclusion of the game, which is the Doomsday Zone, which I won't. Okay, there's nothing really to spoil about it. It's a Super Sonic battle. That's what we're all used to at the end of Sonic games. But again, it was a great reward for being able to complete such a long and very difficult video game, I think. So number 3 on my list is the Death Egg / Doomsday Zone.
All right. Jack, give me number 3 on your list.
My number 3 is Spider-Man PS4. So it's the final battle between Spider-Man and his ultimate enemy in this game, Dr. Otto Octavius, otherwise known as Dr. Octopus. And you have a big fight on top of Oscorp Tower. And it is a brutal fight. And then there's a great cutscene where Otto reveals that he knew Peter was Spider-Man the whole time, which is something that was revealed to the player for the first time, and then you fight on the side of the building as you both are going down, and it's a brutal fight. And the acting between Spider-Man and Doc Ock is great. It's a great conclusion to that video game.
Sounds cool.
Like Mike, no, he can put his headphones back on. All right, you're safe now, Mike. Go ahead and give me number 3 on your list.
All right, number 3 on my list, I'm going to go with Fear.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah.
Never played it.
It's actually a trilogy of games, and they're all decent. But the first one, the finale of the first one was particularly interesting. I mean, pretty much the whole game, your character's only known as the Point Man, and he's like the leader, not the leader, but the point man of a special ops security army group that's supposed to go in and stop this guy named Fattel, who's kind of gone rogue, and he's using these soldiers that are basically they're genetically engineered soldiers that are all like kind of psychically controlled, and he's controlling them all. He's got some massive psychic connection. And the whole game you're just kind of facing off against him, and mowing down all his kind of genetically modified soldiers, and then finally you kill him, and then you find out an interesting twist to the whole story, and this kind of being that you've kind of seen in flashes and like throughout the entire game, a young girl named Alma. You finally find out where she actually is, and
it's not pretty.
Yeah, no, it's not. And you find out the whole connection between Alma and your character and Fattel, and it's really freaking. There's a reason the game is called Fear. It's not survival horror. It is a first-person shooter, but there are definitely horror elements to it, and Alma's a big part of that. And she is in a big way in the final level. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, it's like when you find out, and then all this shit goes down. It's like, and all the enemies come at you. You're like, everything, throw everything we've got at them.
Yeah. There needs to say there are kind of weird ghosts that start attacking you in the final level.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
I wouldn't play it.
All right. Okay. So number 3, I actually had to make a change on this because Colton actually reminded me of a level that, like, oh man, I love this level, so I had to change it. It's Team Sonic versus Metal Sonic in his Metal Overlord form from Sonic Heroes. I remember playing through this game and thinking, you know what? I love the Sonic Adventure game, but Sonic Heroes had a certain feel like the old school Sonic games that I missed. It kind of captured that magic a little bit, and the final boss having to deal with Metal Sonic, you have all the teams going up against him. We finally reached this final boss. You got Sonic in supersonic form, his snail tails and Knuckles getting super forms, and battling him through the sky with him chucking ships and spikes and all kinds of shit at you with this amazing Crush 40 track playing in the background. It was just legendary. It was fun. It was challenging. And the conclusion to it was just fantastic. So, yeah, the last one, Jay. So, number 3 is Team Sonic versus Metal Sonic and Sonic Heroes.
Excellent choice.
Sonic Heroes.
Yeah. All right. Colton, number 2, go.
Number 2 on my list is the final level of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Now, the thing I love about this one is, again, the gameplay, it's very fast-paced and challenging. It's a little frustrating from time to time, as some of these enemies are very hard to kill, but it's not the frustrating hard to kill, it's more the challenging hard to kill, I'd say. But I also really love it for this, again, I also just love it for the storyline as well, because some pretty surprising things happen in this level that well, it's definitely going to catch you off guard with what happens to, well, everyone knows that, okay, everyone knows how it turns out, but I won't spoil it or anything for you. But it was a big shock, and it definitely gets you pumped to try and get through the rest of the game and see just how it's all going to end. And I also really appreciate how the final boss also had some challenge to it. It wasn't just the typical, punch the guy real hard or just shoot him or anything. It was it had a legitimate element of challenge to it that was, again, the good kind of challenge, not the frustrating kind of challenge. So number 2 on my list is Uncharted 2.
Jack, number 2 on your list is?
My number 2 is Transformers: Fall of Cybertron. So it all culminates with the Ark and the Nemesis, both leading for the space bridge, set to go to Earth. And the Decepticons are attacking the Ark. And what's really cool about this is you switch sides multiple times during the battle as you play as different Autobots and Transformers. You get to play as Bruticus, who is a giant Combaticon who destroys most of the ship. And then it culminates with somebody getting very injured and dying. I'm not going to say who. And then you end with the final battle between Optimus Prime and Megatron, as both of the ships get sucked into the portal. Sadly, there's not been a third game in this trilogy, and there needs to be.
Okay, Mike, what's number 2 on your list?
Number 2 on my list is Super Metroid, the Super NES version of this game.
Okay.
This one's a little bit older, so I'm a little bit more willing to spoil some things about it. But needless to say, you're going up against Mother Brain again. And Mother Brain has a new form that you have to attack her as. And, she's pretty much kicking your ass for most of the battle. But then, a young Metroid that you saved in the second game comes and saves you at a cost, and supercharges you so much that you can you're like just glowing with energy and just start wailing into Mother Brain, and then you have to do a quick escape from the planet. So it's for an SNES game, it's a surprisingly emotional ending. With the Metroid, it surprised me quite a bit when I first played it.
Okay, all right. Number 2 on my list. It was so close to being number 1, and while it may not be my favorite, it is, in my honest opinion, the coolest final level in all the video games, and that is Fallout 4's Brotherhood of Steel ending. Now, there are multiple ways in which this game can end, depending on which faction you choose to side with, but oh my god, the Brotherhood ending is just so friggin' awesome. It immediately begins with you activating Liberty Prime, this giant robot that America built to crush the Chinese in Anchorage before the war. Now you've reactivated. It's been reprogrammed to think that the Institute is a communist base. So this level is basically you consisting of marching through the ruins of downtown Boston with a giant 200-foot robot that shoots lasers, chucks nuclear bombs like a football, crushing anything in its path, all while talking about how much he loves America and hates communists. Just it's over the top craziness, but it makes me smile as an American. It makes that is America.
America the Beautiful.
And some of the things that he said, this guy has patriot. I really cannot explain. I can't really explain just how fun, zany, and just over the top it is. You really need to play it to find out. But just to give you an example, when you finally get to the CIT ruins where the Institute is buried, and Liberty Prime does a scan, he describes the soil composition as follows: sand, gravel, and communism. I mean, it is over the top, zany, but it's freaking awesome. And it just any red-blooded American just gets you so pumped. Like, yes! Fuck that! That is a moment for Team America, World Police America, fuck yeah theme to be playing. Just play through all throughout that. It is so much fun, and I absolutely love it. So, number 2, yeah, when it's not the end, you get to the Institute, you blow some shit up, yada, yada, yada. But, yeah, marching through Boston with Liberty Prime, chucking nuclear bombs and saluting memorials, and just, it is so much fun. And it just makes me so happy to be an American. So number 2 is Fallout 4's Brotherhood of Steel ending.
To be fair, that's the kind of humor that permeates the entire Fallout series.
True. All right. So here we are. This is it. Number 1. Colton, I'm coming to you. What is it?
When you walk away, you don't hear me say. Okay, I can't sing anymore because of copyright. But Kingdom Hearts 1. The final area that won the end of the world. I came close to choosing Kingdom Hearts 2, but Kingdom Hearts 2's final level, but the fact that one has like so many final boss fights and everything to an almost annoying degree kind of maybe choose Kingdom Hearts 1 instead. I think End of the World is a bit better paced. I like the concept of it a bit more also, like it's just unlike all the other worlds in this game, it's one of the Heartless, and just trying to get through it as Heartless, waves of them keep coming at you. Just through like you think it's like a straight path, and suddenly, bam, Heartless are everywhere, and then you have to fight them off. And then towards the end of the level, it's like, oh, by the way, Chernobog's in this game also. You have to fight him off. And then the final confrontation with not Ansem, but that's another story, was also a very, very satisfying, again, there's like 3 forms to him, but it's not annoying. I think it's very well paced. And it all culminates in a very emotional ending, which, okay, I won't give away how that turns out, but it was something that made me, as I was sitting there as the credits rolled, I'm like, I need Kingdom Hearts 2 now. This can't be the end. Oh, it wasn't the end, right? Like 5 sub games later, and that's another story. Kingdom Hearts 1 is my number 1.
Okay, Jack, what's number 1 on your list?
My number 1 is Infamous 2.
Good choice.
It is the final level, and the beast has attacked Numerate, and you can do this in the good ending or the bad ending. And in the good ending, you have to fight your friend Ku, who had joined him because she doesn't want to die. So you have to fight him and the beast, and then you charge up your device to defeat and destroy all the conduits in the world. And I actually teared up in this ending because sadness, somebody dies. And I really love this character. And it was sad to see him go.
Yeah, that took a lot of guts. I gotta commend him on actually going through with both of those endings.
All right, Mike, what is number 1 on your list?
All right. Just quick honorable mention shout out to System Shock 2. But yeah, my favorite final level is Thief 2: The Metal Age. Yeah, Shock Surprise, one of my all-time favorite games. But the final level is, quite frankly, huge. The level is probably at least twice as big as any other level in the game. And it's just you in this gigantic citadel, just trying to find all the special little tools that you need to kind of ruin the main bad guy's plans. But just, I could spend probably 2 or 3 hours just doing that one level alone. It is huge, and this is a game where if you had tried to attack a villain, get into open combat, you will probably die because they're all much better armed and have more health than you. So this is a game that rewards stealth and keeping quiet and doing tricks to get by people. And never is that more evident than in this level, because I mean, half the things that you have to avoid in this one are just giant robots that have literal cannons for arms. So if they see you, they shoot a cannonball that hits you and then explodes. So pretty much 2 hits from that and you're dead. So it takes a while to get through this level, but it's very rewarding, and it's just, I really like the stealth gameplay, so it really kind of fits me. So yeah, my number one is Thief 2: The Metal Age.
Okay, all right. So number one on my list, and this was a very, very close call. It almost was Fallout 4's Brotherhood of Steel ending, but in the end, I went with the Palace of Shadows from Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. And what do I love about this level? I mean, frankly, everything. I mean, first of all, it is a gorgeous setting. I mean, it's haunting, it's eerie, it's beautiful, and just all kinds of amazing things. But also the sheer challenge of it. Not only are the minions themselves just like hard to beat. You got the hard Goombas, you got the dry bones, yada yada yada. But you got 5 boss battles in this one level. From first, you got to fight Gloomtail, which is the older brother of the boss from the first level. Then you got to face the Shadow Sirens again, and then you fight the big boss from this game, Grotus, and immediately after that, you got to fight Bowser without resting. So you need to plan your attack properly, otherwise you are completely screwed fighting Bowser. And then even if you get through all that, now you got to face the big boss, the Shadow Queen, who is a bitch to take down. I went through so many healing powders and bombs and just everything trying to take her down. It was it was such a challenge, but it was a load of fun, and the thrill of taking her down, banishing her back. Oh my god, it was so rewarding. I really felt I accomplished something beating this game. So yeah, number one is the Palace of Shadows from Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, an absolutely fantastic game, and one I seriously want Nintendo to remake for the Switch, or at least put it on its online channel, because if so, I'll buy that right now. All right, guys. So with that is going to wrap up our episode. I want to thank you all for watching. Colton, thank you very much for being here.
It's good to be here. Really enjoy hearing all your picks. Makes me miss playing video games.
Well, buy a new TV, buy some game comps, and start playing, boy. All right, Jack. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, it was great to be here to talk about some of these amazing games.
All right, and Mike, my friend, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, great to be here. This was a hard list to come up with.
All right, guys. I know I just came back. But unfortunately, life has gotten in the way. We won't be back for until 3 weeks, because I got to work next Saturday, and then the Saturday after that, Mike, myself, and Caleb are seeing Spider-Man, so we won't be able to do the show then. So we will be back in 3 weeks. I've got a bunch of topics here. I just need to decide which one we're going to do. So we'll keep that a surprise for you, and we will see you soon. So take care, everyone. Bye bye.